Hi there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp with the March 2023 edition of Making the Cut. Making the Cut is my monthly series here on Simon Says Stamp where we talk about all things die cutting. Today we are going to be creating a wonderful all die cut Easter card. We are going to start with a little bit of stamping using the solid grid background stamp from Simon Says Stamp with the Spring Pawsitively saturated ink. I didn't have the exact color of pattern paper or cardstock that I wanted to use for my card to really showcase the carrots and the bunnies, so I decided to create my own. I absolutely love creating my own pattern papers. So we are going to ink up the entire background with the spring ink, which is a beautiful minty green, and I'm going to make sure and press it really good. And it will look a little blotchy, but as that ink absorbs and dries, it is going to smooth out and just be the most perfect minty color. Definitely gives you those spring vibes, just like the name suggests. Next, I have die cut off camera some of the carrots and peeking bunnies from Simon Says Stamp. We have 5 carrots total, 3 in a lighter orange and 2 in a darker orange. These are textured cardstocks from Fawn, and I love how how the textured cardstock accepts the ink. I don't want to leave them flat, so I am going to take a little bit of SHERBET and MOCHA inks and add some color to all of my carrots. The lighter carrots are going to have the SHERBET and MOCHA, the darker just the MOCHA because I don't think the SHERBET will show up. For the greenery, I did choose 2 colors of textured cardstock for this as well. I am using 2 shades from the Fawn green textured cardstock and applying either FAIRWAY or Field ink to those pieces. So the lighter pieces are going to get FAIRWAY and the darker are going to get Field. Then we're going to mix and match the greenery pieces for the top of each of the carrots for a really fun shaded look. My idea for this card was to have repeating carrots and little bunnies peeking out, almost like holding on to the carrots, and then adding die cut greetings to each of the carrots, which you'll see here at the end of the card design. Now, I know I kind of forgot to do this early on, so you'll see me add some gouache, some white splatter to the background in a bit. But we will get to that later, and I had to be kind of careful because I was already ready to assemble, and so I just tried to keep my fingers out of it as much as possible since it was still wet. Normally, I would have splattered it and let that dry while I worked on everything else. I love when my components pop off of the background. The problem here is they're pretty teeny tiny. So my best hack for that is to place the foam adhesive on the back of the largest piece and then start placing all of the little pieces on top of that. And then I'm even securing some of them together with additional foam. I'm going to be piecing together lots of foam. Now this first one I was really fussy with. It got easier as I put more of these carrots together because of course I need to repeat this 4 more times. I'm using a combination of the Simon Says Stamp foam adhesive squares, and you can also use foam strips, cut your little squares into strips, or even take the Simon Says Stamp foam adhesive roll and cut that into thin strips. My goal is to make sure that not only is my carrot popped up, but that the green parts are nice and secured as well, which is going to take a little bit of fussing. As simple as this card is to create, I would say that putting it together took the most time, but it was so worth it, and it turned out exactly how I imagined in my head, which doesn't always happen, as you guys know. Once I have all of the little foam on the back, I want to start in the center of my card design and place that carrot first. Then I can build the rest of the carrots around. In order to give all of the carrots plenty of room on this A2 sized card, I am going to alternate which direction the carrot faces. So whether it faces left or right on its side. I also think it would be very cute to have the carrot, or not the carrots, but position the card horizontally. You would have to do your greetings differently, but I do think a border horizontal and having some bunnies peeking out would be very cute as well. So this is my splatter box. It is just a plastic storage box from a discount store. And I already have some white gouache in here, but I added a little bit more, and I am adding water to it so that I can get it to move a little easier. And then I'm simply going to splatter this all over the background and really just add a little more texture. Another idea is to take some distress stains or sprays or mica stain or anything like that and splatter your background. Then I'm going to go ahead and position my first carrot and pop that down. Yes, the gouache is still white. For the sake of the video, I went ahead and put this together, but normally I would have let that dry, and I just wanted to let you guys know that, because here in a minute I do accidentally get my finger in gouache and I smear it on the carrot. But instead of redoing it, I'm going to show you how I disguise it, which it ended up working out since it is where a greeting is going to go. Now, I accidentally put foam back behind the bunny's ears, and I realized there's going to be a carrot there, so I don't need foam. This is the peeking bunny, and what I did is this die cut's kind of a shadow effect, but I die cut the bunny from that circle, which you'll see here in a little bit. This was my tester bunny. I will cut the other one on camera, but I did keep the nose and the inside of the ears, which you'll see me attach in a minute. Right now, I did attach one of the carrots and glue the bunny down. I inserted the ears, I did a little inlay, and there is foam back behind the bunny face, so I'm going to just pop the nose in. You could do the eyes if you want to, but I'm going to completely I didn't save those teeny tiny pieces, and I am instead going to replace the eyes with some black jewels. We're going to continue adding now. The acrylic block is only on top to help hold those ears down because I did put liquid glue back behind them. And you're seeing me cut up some of the foam squares. You're going to see this throughout the assembly process. And like I said, the assembly of all of these little parts and pieces is what took so long, so I did speed up the video a little bit just to save some time. I highly recommend the Simon Says Stamp glass mat for your ink blending. It really is super quick and easy to clean up, so you're going to see me use that a lot anytime I have ink blending to do, since I can just take either a little water or stamp cleaner, or my favorite, some rubbing alcohol, and just clean up my work surface super quick. So we are going to continue building these carrots, and here is where I smeared the gouache on the carrot. Super bummed, but we're just going to go with it. I'm a big fan of making it work. So here is that other peeking bunny, and you can see how I'm just cutting the head from the cardstock piece. And I did die cut 3, but I ended up thinking just the 2 bunnies worked really well for this particular design and didn't overload everything. And there I'm adding the liquid glue and inlaying the ear pieces, and I'm going to put the acrylic block on again to help hold those flat. Let's go ahead and get those final 2 carrots inked up and in place. I absolutely love how the sherbet looks on this lighter orange carrot. Absolutely so cute. I don't know what it is, but I am all about the carrots and the bunnies this year for my Easter decor and crafting. I love them. And I really should have added the greenery. I don't know what I was thinking. It will work either way. My best advice is to just take your time when assembling and piecing together small die cut pieces. I'm such a huge fan of die cutting and finding fun and creative ways to create cute scenes or cute die cut cards, especially when everything on the card is die cut. I think it is so fun to look at something that has all kinds of die cutting. You will notice that there's not a stamped greeting. Yes, we did stamp the background, as I mentioned earlier, but it's all created with die cuts. And I really mixed and matched with amazing, fun Simon Says Stamp themed products from my stash, which is a very fun thing to do. Now, I will mention, and you're going to see this here a little later in the video, that my bunnies don't have paws. I am going to go ahead and just add the black gems for the eyes. I needed my bunnies to have faces. I don't know what it was. But what you're going to see is the bunnies don't have paws. And the way this particular peking bunny die is created, there aren't paws. So I really had to go to my stash and see what could I use to make some paws. And we will talk a little bit more about that when we get to it. I just wanted to make sure to let you guys know that the paws are something that you're going to have to come up with, but it's pretty easy, and I will talk about that in a little while. I am taking an alcohol ink marker now and adding a little pink to the cheeks and ears and nose. I'm using Olo markers, but you can use any of your favorite markers to do this. You can see I'm only using 2 shades of pink and then a blender or 0 to just smooth out that color and soften the cheeks a little bit. Very soft and pretty, and doesn't it make the cute little bunny faces just come to life? Oh, they're so stinking cute. This is the Bunny Kisses sentiment from Simon Says Stamp, and it die cuts all at once, but each word is individual. So I thought, wouldn't it be cute if each carrot featured one of the words? I die cut all of the words from some of the Simon Says Stamp gold matte cardstock, and I am simply going to add some liquid adhesive and place each of these words on a carrot. This incorporates the sentiment into the overall design of the card, which is one of my favorite things to do. And there is my extra bunny that I can use for a tag or something else on another project. I ended up deciding, I played around with different placement, and I just didn't think that he fit anywhere. So here we're just adding a little bit of glue to all of the words, and then an acrylic block on top is my favorite hack for holding those little pieces down while the liquid glue dries. Isn't this just the perfect sentiment for that sweet little bunny? This card is sure to put a smile on the recipient's face. I also think it would be very cute if you even wanted to just frame it up or use it as display. So once we have all of our die cut pieces, it is time for embellishing. Embellishing is always one of my favorite parts of finishing up a card. First up, I did decide to do some paws, and what I found in my stash that worked, and you might have this as well, are the cheek dies from Lawn Fawn Tiny Gift Box add-ons. So when you build those little critters, those little ovals are actually for cheeks. But in this case, don't they look like they make the perfect paws for the bunny? And to me, this makes it look like the bunny is holding on to the carrot, and I really feel like it finishes off the whole design so well. Before that, it just looked like a floating head, and now it actually looks complete. So let's go ahead and do that for the second one as well. And again, this is from any of the tiny gift boxes. I think they all come with little cheeks. So if you have any of those little add-on critters, or if you have something similar, just look through your dies and see what you can use to build some little paws. And then to be completely honest, I lost the little gold pieces for my eyes. And so I thought this was a great opportunity to use some gold pearls from Pretty Pink Posh and give a little dimension. Finally, I am going to scatter some little pink hearts throughout my card. I love adding hearts to my design, and this is going to allow me to add a little bit more color. The pink on the bunnies really influenced my decision on what color of embellishment to use to finish off my card design. And I love the softness and the spring-like feel that this adds to the card. It finishes it off so well, gives it a little bit of that whimsical look and feel, and I just love it. And here's a look at the finished card design. Thank you so much for joining me for the March edition of Making the Cut here at Simon Says Stamp. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video for your convenience. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysstamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.